It was the dark of night in this central Yerevan courtyard. Haykak Arshamyan and Suren Saghatelyan, two well-known activists who happen to be friends and neighbors, were returning home around 10 o'clock after a stroll in Liberty Square. That's when they were attacked.
When I was trying to open the door of my garage to park the car, someone hit me from behind. And they started to beat us like for 1 or 2 minutes without saying any word. There were like from 5 to 7 people.
My first reaction was just to open the door and run to help Haykak. But when I opened the door, I even hadn't time to turn my face because I got the first punches on my face, on my head.
Haykak had 2 broken ribs. He needed stitches inside his mouth and on his face. Suren had a broken nose and broken fingers and needed operations on both. Both men had bruises all over their bodies. Haykak says seconds after the beating began, he knew he was being targeted for participating in a protest outside Republican Party headquarters that evening. He and other citizens were angered by President Sargsyan's announcement the previous day that Armenia would join a Russian-led customs union.
No one knew about that, no debates. Even the political force that is for Sargsyan, the Republican Party, they didn't know what's going on.
Haykak says the assailants looked like professional bodyguards and knew what they were doing.
This attack, I'm not taking it like very personally, and I'm taking it an attack against the civil society at all in Armenia. And like against all open-minded people, all people who are just thinking, who can think independently, and who are for democracy and freedom of speech.
So I don't understand, and I don't share the opinion that people should be quiet, should be just shut up and don't express their opinions.
Suren and Haykak work for NGOs. Suren is with World Vision, and Haykak is with the Yerevan Press Club and the Richard Giragosyan-led think tank Regional Studies Center. They say trying to intimidate people with violence doesn't work anymore.
Despite that they think that with these methods they can just stop the resistance, but it's 21st century, and when you in like normal country, when you attack on people, it can raise another counter reaction.
Statements of support and condemnation of the attack came from Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch International, the EU delegation to Armenia, and the US Embassy. Haykak says his attackers are a throwback to a bygone era.
They are trying to go back to the methods of 70s and 80s, like KGB methods, like to beat people, and they think that it will scare them. You know, but from the other side, I think it works in Armenia, not on me, but for the other people who are just loyal or they don't care even. But when they hear about this attack, they're just saying, you know, why you are that doing? Are you sure you want that?
Haykak and Suren want Armenians to speak up against the Republic joining the customs union.
I wouldn't support this idea if I was just a ruling person in the country, like joining the customs union, because what the European Union has is already working system with well economies, with less corruption practices, etc. So better to be there than in a union which is still under the testing, and I'm not sure that it will generally work for Armenia effectively.
Haykak believes a majority of Armenian citizens are not reacting enough to the president's announcement because they're generally tired of politics. With nearly half the population living in poverty, Haykak believes people are worried about how to put food on the table and don't have time for politics.
The customs union is only the first step. The second step of Russian Empire is to rearrange the previous Soviet Union with a new name called Eurasia Union or something. And With this kind of Russian Federation, which is very far from the democracy, which economy is only based on raw material and oil, and they don't have any human rights in their own country, so I don't want to join a country as Russia.
Haykak wants people to understand what's going on. He's worried that migration is depleting the nation of its greatest resource, its population. As for the police investigation into their case, neither man is hopeful that their assailants will be found or jailed. They just hope the international reaction their beating has received will stop thugs and bullies from attacking other activists and citizens. Chaderjian, Saghatelyan, CivilNet.